guys, it's me, Vanessa, Winnipeg Blunt Journey, and I wanted to talk about that's bright. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out the best lighting. Good enough. So I wanted to talk about my labor. I went into labor October 15th of 2021, and yeah, so first off, I was having major cramps and like a bunch of things October 14th, and I have 3 friends that live close to me, so they were like my emergency, like if I needed to go get checked out or anything, I could just call them and they would come by and watch Charlie while I went in. But they didn't answer me and they were asleep, so I messaged my mom and she's like, "Oh, it's nothing, you're fine, just go to bed, relax, blah blah blah." So I did. And then I woke up about 2:30. I made whipped cream because I was craving it, and pineapples. I had whipped cream with pineapple, ate that, and I went back to bed. Still feeling tight, cramped, sore. I fell asleep, so I was like, whatever. October 15th, and about 8:30, I woke up in excruciating pain, and I went to the bathroom. I thought I just had to poop, so I pooped, and I was like, oh, that's it. Like, I'm gonna be fine. Well, no, I wasn't fine. I was in labor. I slept through my entire labor and woke up to having to push my baby out. So 8:50 comes around. I texted my mom. I was like, hey, you need to get up here. Like, I'm having him. I'm gonna have him in my house. Like, hurry up. She's like, oh, it's nothing. She kept thinking it was nothing. Here I am, gonna have a baby in my apartment with Charlie. Like, oh my god, I was freaking out. So I called the ambulance about 9:10, and he's like asking me a bunch of questions. And are you timing your contractions? Do you feel like you need to push? Like, you should lay down. You should put some stuff down. You should get ready and blah blah blah. I'm like, no, I'm not pushing. I'm not pushing him out in my apartment with my 2-year-old here. Like, get me an ambulance and tell them to hurry up, please. So we were on the phone like the entire time, and I'm like, is the ambulance on its way? Like, what is taking so long? He's like, yes, they're coming. They're just down the street. Like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my god, this is taking for fucking ever. Like, it felt like half an hour went by. Meanwhile, it was only like 10 minutes. So the ambulance gets to my apartment block, and I literally like ran outside. I let them in, and they're like, oh, she can walk. Like, sweet. I'm like, no, you guys need to come in. Like, I have a 2-year-old and she's inside. Like, we need to get her and then we can go. So they're like, oh, well, we can't take the 2-year-old on a crazy ambulance ride without a car seat. I'm like, what? So we're waiting in the ambulance for my mom to show up, and literally like within minutes she was there. Thank God. And she takes Charlie. Charlie's in a fireman's arms at the bottom of the stairs, and they're like waiting for my mom. I'm in the ambulance, and I just remember this guy. He like reached over me to like get something from the whatever, and I like grabbed his arm like this and just squeezed so fucking hard. Like, the contractions were like 30 seconds apart, like quick. And they're like, okay, well, if you need to push, we'll have to pull over and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, I'm not pushing. I'm not pushing. Just go, just go, just go, just go as fast as you can. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So I live like 7 minutes normal driving from the women's hospital. So it was like a 3-minute drive with going through the lights. We're going as fast as we can. We get there. They get me out. We get into triage. And we're literally in the hallway. And she's like, I gotta check you. I'm like, go ahead. Like, let's do it. Let's go. So she checks me in the hallway and she's like, hey, let's go to the elevator. Up to labor floor. We were heading to the elevator and she's like, well, don't push it out. Don't push him out in the elevator. And I was like, why would you say that? I watch Grey's Anatomy. And we all started laughing. So anyways, we make it up to the labor and delivery ward. And the doctor's literally in my room waiting for me. So I get in a gown, get ready, get my feet in. They take the bottom of the bed out. And yeah, within, I'd say 2 minutes, he was out and on my chest. I literally birthed him. Like, I grabbed him and put him on my chest, cut his umbilical cord, and held him for about 30 minutes. And we snuggled and whatnot, and it was amazing. And then my mom came in with Charlie, my almost 2-year-old. And she's like, what? You had him already? I was like, yeah, I couldn't wait for you. She's like, is it a boy? I'm like, yeah, he's a boy. Because she didn't think that I was actually going to have a boy. All of me and my sisters all have girls. So this is her first grandson, and it was so amazing. Charlie got to meet her brother like right after he was born, and she was trying to share her juice with him, and like, oh, it was so cute. That was my crazy labor experience, and definitely one for the books, because I can't believe I slept through my labor. I literally was like, I was pretty sure I was going into labor too. I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure, Mom, like, you should come up. She's like, no, just go to bed, relax, you're okay. I was like, and I wake up and pretty much having my baby. So yeah, I just wanted to share that experience and document it, have it on my YouTube channel for anyone interested in how crazy it was. It's here, and I can just send them to the link. What else? He weighed, after I was holding him, the nurse took him off my chest and went to go weigh him, and he literally like shit all over her hand and pissed everywhere. Like, it was hilarious. I was like, he didn't do that on me. Aw. And he weighed 7 pounds even. And yeah, he was just so perfect. Like, perfect head, perfect size. He was only 18 inches long, so he's pretty short. But he's so cute, and I fell in love as soon as I seen him. He's the perfectest little boy ever. I named him Theodore James Silas. Silas is from my favorite TV show, Weeds. James was my grandpa's name, and Theodore was a name my sisters helped me pick out. So, very meaningful name. And yeah, I'm just very thankful to have him in my life. And he is the best, most handsome little boy I've ever seen. So that's my experience. And I'm sitting in front of my plants, so it's kind of planty. And yeah, I hope you liked my labor story. Oh yeah, so my mom took a while to get up into my delivery room because COVID, and they were like asking her a bunch of questions, and because she's not vaccinated, they were like really hesitant about her coming up into my room with my daughter. And then she just like lost it and said, I'm all she's got, and I want to go up there, and blah 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 blah. And then finally they just let her up. So that was why she was delayed downstairs before she could come in and help me, which I didn't need help because I already pushed him out. And I didn't have any gas, epidural, nothing, all natural, and the easiest and best labor I've had. Like, it was so fast and painless. Well, not painless, but like it was so quick. And I like the feeling afterwards of having a natural birth, because all the other times, like I have two others, I was so like out of it and groggy and like ugh, I didn't get to soak in that time that I had. As for when with Theo, I got to soak in that 25 to 30 minutes that I had holding him. And then like with Charlie, I had the gas. They gave me morphine and fentanyl or whatever for the pain. And that just completely, it was crazy. So I recommend an all natural birth because it's the best, and you really get to soak in that moment with your baby after and not be all, ooh. So I had him, and then he was not doing so great. Nothing major, but he was losing weight. He was in withdrawals because I'm on Suboxone, so he had lots of withdrawal symptoms. And because I went through this with Charlie, I knew the withdrawal symptoms and signs, and I wanted him to go into the NICU so he could get the help that he needed. So yeah, he was in the NICU for about 16 days, which was so hard and difficult and the worst. But I made it work. I managed to see him for like 4 or 5 hours a day, and I was with Charlie during the day and with Theo during the night. And yeah, I just tried to make it work as best as I could, taking care of a 2-year-old and then my baby. So he came home on his due date, which was Halloween. He wasn't like, he was fine, and then all of a sudden, like during the afternoon, I just noticed his skin tone was looking like really gray, and like his soft spot was super sunken in. So I was like really panicked, and I took him into the children's hospital, and that's when I found out he had a virus in his brain. So they ended up keeping him there and admitting him. So I had to stay with him at the children's hospital because they don't just let you leave. So I ended up staying with him that night when we got admitted. And yeah, he had so many tests done, and blood work was checked every 2 hours. It was scary, and I was so stressed and so scared because I just didn't know, what to expect or what was going on. Why that NICU people didn't find it before I took him home. Like, he was in the NICU for like 16 days and he was fine, but I took him home for a day and everything just went downhill. So that was an experience. He was there for 7 days, 6 days, 7 days, getting his antibiotics, and blood work was getting checked regularly in his foot. They would prick his foot and take his blood and whatnot. Sorry, I'm feeling kind of sick. But yeah, so that was super tough. Just watching him get poked and prodded and tests done all the time, like every couple hours, was so hard and stressful. And yeah, so he came home November 7th, which was my 10-year-old's 10th birthday. So that was super exciting. Yeah. And now he's doing good. He's gaining weight. He's getting chunky. He is healthy. And yeah, I'm just so excited to have my little boy finally. He's the apple of my eye and so adorable. I'm so thankful to have him. My third baby, and I finally got my boy. Yay. So that's my crazy experience. I loved being in the NICU. The NICU nurses are the best. They were so nice. The children's hospital was kind of weird because they have different protocols and different things that they do that I found the NICU didn't do, but I don't know, it was just different, both of them. Like, the NICU was awesome. The children's hospital was really stressful and like the worst experience ever. So yeah, but I'm happy my boy's home and healthy. And yeah, that's my crazy story. If you have any questions, just shoot me a message. Bye.